Hi everyone, Laura Alexander here. Thank you again for joining me, or if it's your first time, welcome. I hope that you are healthy and hanging in there, and I'm assuming if you're tuning in, that is indeed the case for you. Today we'll do another mat Pilates class. We're going to focus though on the obliques, and they are important abdominal muscles in the sense that they allow us to do a lot of things rotationally and laterally. And the consequence of that is that we still, without focusing specifically on the spine, get a nice stretch going through the spine, a nice lengthening there, and posturally you get those benefits as well. So let's get to it. As usual, I like to begin standing. We're going to do a different kind of stretch though. So bring your feet a little bit further apart than your hips, and let's just go ahead and let the arms hang nice and long by your sides. Turn your wrists forward if you like, or turn them inward towards your body, but this is not where you want to be with the wrists turned back. Inhale to drop your chin to your chest and engage the abdominals, and think about sending the crown of your head to the floor. Exhale to get where you're going here. Don't worry if your hands don't touch the floor, but if they do and you're able to do this, rest your fingertips there, and then it's an inhale to just bend the knees and drop the tailbone to the mat, and exhale to come right back up with it. Inhale to drop. We're just going to do 3 of these and exhale. I'm turning to the side on this last one. Inhale to drop and coming back. And before you stand up, let's bring the feet wider apart. So if you're on a mat, bring them off the mat. Either way, just further apart than what they were. And now what you'll do is you're going to bend that right knee, keep the left leg straight, and just shift over. This is an inhale. Exhale to shift back. Let's go to the left. Breathe in and out. If you lack the flexibility to get your hands touching the floor, just bring them to your thighs, your knees, or something. Inhale, inhale, inhale. It's a side lunge, basically. Exhale back. And again, and back to center. Good. Let's come on up into standing, and I always really scoop the abdominals to round into the spine, stack it up one vertebra at a time, and roll those shoulders back. Let's bring yourselves forward to sit back down on the mat, and we're going to start with pelvic tilts here. So lying all the way back and down, arms nice and long by your sides. Let's flex your feet and just keep the heels sort of pushing gently down onto the floor or the mat. And then you will find your neutral spine here. For some of you, you may have a slight arch in your back, and for others, perhaps not. I'm a little more kyphotic, we call it, right? Where I have more of my back connected to the mat. Either way, find your natural spine where you're not really consciously doing anything, and take a deep inhale through the nose there. And then on the exhale, if you can bring your ribs together, and start to just tilt that tailbone up off the floor a little, gently bringing the back to the floor. Inhale to release that. Rocking gently through the pelvis is what this is about. Exhale, exhale, exhale. And maybe 3 more like that. Breathe in. Breathe out. And see how much you can contract the abdominals throughout this. This is an ab exercise. Very beneficial for the back, especially the low back, of course. Really engaging those low abs. 1 more coming up. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. From here, bring the arms up, and you're going to position them shoulder distance apart, wrist turned inward. Nice stretch. Keep your feet the way they are. On the inhale, bring the one arm up by your ear. I've got my right arm coming up and lowering my left arm down by the hip, and I'm stretching and reaching and lengthening those arms. Exhale deeply to come back and switch sides. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. If my left arm is up and my right arm is down, I'm really stretching the obliques on my left side, of course. Exhale. So send your breath where you need it. Find the contraction on the exhale. Acknowledge the stretch, and acknowledge the return, the engagement. 1 more time each way here. And breathe in Lengthen those arms, the muscles, and exhale. Now we're going to do an abdominal curl. Turn the wrists away from you. Arm circles, ab curl. Inhale to bring your arms up by your ears. Circle the arms out by your sides. And exhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale, way back. Big circle, exhale, reach. Four more. We exhale on the up or on the exertion to help expel the air out and create room for more movement. And last one coming up here. And let's come right on up into position for the 100. Let's bring the knees up into a knee fold. My feet are already flexed. Start pumping those arms nice and tall and straight. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. I'm incrementally lowering my legs, challenging myself a little more deeply. For 4 more remaining pumps, I'm going to go into pointed feet, Pilates V. Please work within your safe level. When you exhale all year, put the head back down, draw the knees in. Hug them deeply to your chest, either way you like. Just rock a little back and forth from side to side. Let's take a moment to also turn the head back and forth here from side to side. Good. All right, planting those feet back down nice and long on the mat. So hands come together behind your head, and now we'll do the oblique curls or folds. Inhale to prepare again. On the exhale, you're going to raise that right knee up along with your head, neck, and chest. And I'm going to take my gaze to the outside of that right knee on the exhale. Inhale, put everything down. Lift and twist to the left. And just stay in motion this way. Make sure you're not lifting that leg just because you know you should, or I asked you to, or told you to. But that it is a direct result of engaging your core and those obliques. And you twist the upper body. 2 more each way here. Good, and lying back and down, let's take a quick moment for a figure 4 stretch. So let's bring the right ankle over the left knee, and you can either keep that left foot down and just kind of press away, right hand into the inside of that right leg, and you get that stretch going through the hip. You might feel it up into the back of the buttocks or the low back here, not a bad thing. Or you can then deepen this by bringing the hands around the back of your left leg and then just pulling gently, and you're going to feel that stretch through the glute, hip, the piriformis muscle, particularly there, deep in the hip. And let's press that leg away so my arms are almost straight, and then inhale to stretch that leg up, flex the foot, and come down. This is how we'll do footwork again today. Up, 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 and flex deeply down. So how much movement can you get going through the foot and the ankle? It's important. 2 more like this. Up, flex, bend. And when you are up this next time, leave it there. And it's just 5 circles each way. Really work the toes too. Separate them. Looks funny, feels funny. But it's a good little exercise. And then other direction. Good. And then I'm going to leave the leg up. We're going to jump ahead into single leg circle. So I'm going to uncross my right leg and bring it down to the mat. And then keep that up leg up. I'm going to turn it slightly out in the hip socket and arms rest nice and long by my sides. And then, as I said, circles. We go across the midline. Inhale. Exhale, stop at the top. Breathe in. 3 more in this direction. Keeping the abs tight. And reversing. Out. Last one coming up. And then pulling that knee in. And take a moment to let it open out to the side. And let that leg be really heavy. Grab the foot with the opposite hand. Now, in this stretch, allow there to be this nice lengthening and stretch through that whole left side. Maybe from the inside armpit on that left side all the way down to the outside of the knee. And we'll do the other side. So it's starting with that right foot down, and for the moment, just pressing away into the inside of the left leg. And then let's bring that other leg up, elbow inside the left leg, and then inhale to straighten that right leg up, point foot, flex foot, down, up and down. This is one of those many exercises that tell us which side of the body we're a little tighter on or less flexible on, and sometimes stronger on, of course. Stay up this next time, deeply pointing and flexing the foot. And then staying pointed in the foot, and it circles. And reversing. And then we will uncross that left leg to bring it down, right leg up and turned out. And then inhale, exhale. Try to keep a length, which I did not say this on the other side. That circling leg, can you kind of encourage a lengthening through that right side by placing your hand on your hip here. Last 2 in this direction. And reverse. And last 2 again. And 1. Knee comes in, let it fall out to the side, let it be really heavy, and again, encouraging that whole stretch from the armpit down, out through that knee. And then back to center here. Good. We're going to do the exercise known as roll up here. All right. So stretch the legs out nice and long. Let's begin right here with the arms. So feet are pointed or flexed. I don't have a strap with which to work, which is neither here nor there actually. So you're going to inhale here, exhale to pelvic tilt, and articulate your spine down. Good. And inhale to come up, and exhale, exhale, exhale. Pull those arms back, hug down into the side of the body. 1 full breath each way. Again, think continuously about this, setting the crown of your head up towards or out into space, up towards your ceiling, feeling that lengthening through the neck. 2 more like this. Back and down. Last one here. And when you're up and over, please stay up and over this next time. Couple deep breaths. And then, staying sitting upright, go ahead and bend your knees again. When I do this, I like to have my feet flexed. I don't know what it is about me. I think I'm more comfortable this way. Some people really operate throughout life with pointed feet. They're comfortable there. I like to sit up if my knees are ever bent in this position, so that I really kind of grind or ground my heels into the mat. All right, so the exercise is again going to be focusing on the obliques. Extend the arms out in front of you, and what you'll do here is keeping this left arm and hand aligned with the shoulder and stretched out forward. Just turn and open to the right. Pull the abdominals in and open the low back to just maybe tap your hand to the mat there. That's an inhale, and I'm reaching oppositionally here. Exhale to sit right back up. Other direction, twist, tap, exhale, come back up. So lengthen through that side to which you're twisting, and exhale right back up. You cannot do this without the low abdominals. Inhale to open. Let's get a nice stretch from arm through the other arm. Here. 2 more times each way. Last one to the left. And back up. Good. All right, so from here, I'm going to scoot further forward a little bit. The exercise is rolling like a ball 5 times. Picking the feet up, hands gently on the front of your ankles, and you're going to pull those heels close, knees close. Gaze down. Inhale, pull those abdominals in. Exhale, come up, stick the landing. Massage the spine. Send some deep breath into your back to help encourage the movement. Inhale. 2 more. Last one coming up. Right away, feet come down. This is a transition into the stomach series. Pick up your hips, scoot them back a little bit, pull that right knee in, and it's single leg stretch, first of the 5 ab exercises. Find a rhythm of breathing that works for you here. 1 more time each side here, and with the head still up, double leg stretch. Reach, exhale. Notice I am not dropping through my heels to bring my knees back. I'm going to find a point at which I extend my legs or toes and just work on that trajectory. 3 more. Scissors is next. Both legs come up. Reach up and grab as high up the straight close leg as you can. Let the other one drop down. But again, honor your back. Your working level can be small, like so, or big, like so. It's whatever works for you. And let's 1 time each side here. And let's bring the legs together, hands behind your head. Make sure you're cradling. Let your head rest here. Inhale to go down. I flex the feet away. Point them to come back. Last 2 coming up. And then crisscross, the last of the ab exercises, is an oblique exercise. Bend that right knee and lift and twist. I'm bringing my chest towards this knee. This elbow is in line with this elbow. Knee, rather, sorry. Right? So just think about that. It's an encouragement to stay open in the upper body. I'm going to inhale one way, exhale the other. Use those obliques to move the legs in and out. And 2 more each way. And back and down. Good. Bring the knees over to one side. Let them be really heavy. Lengthen down through that hip. And let that left arm fall out. 1 more deep breath here. And other way. And back to center. Let's bring the knees in and roll right on up into sitting. So we're going to do an exercise that is both a stretch and an oblique exercise. So I'm going to have you sit up and let's bend one knee, tucking a foot into the inside of the straight leg. It doesn't matter which way you go here on this one. This foot, though, is flexed. Bring the arms up here And here's the point to this exercise for today's purpose. You're going to twist your body towards the straight leg, and I'm going to contract the obliques on this side to help send me over this way on an exhale while I'm stretching the other side of me. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Now, use these obliques to inhale and stack my spine right back up. Exhale to go forward again. And up. And again, keep lengthening out through the crown of your head. Try to get your hands further past that foot. And 2 more of these. Last one coming up. And when you come over, I want to have you take the opposite hand. In this case, it's my right hand. I'm going to bring it on the outside of my other foot. And I'm just going to take the left hand and place it on the floor behind me. And then I'm going to twist. And exhale. Bend that back arm to deepen into this spine rotation, spine twist. One more time. Breathe in. And breathe out. And back up to the center to switch to the other side. So this other foot remains flexed, right? Here we are. Inhale, twist, tilt, engage those obliques. And inhale, you can pull in on those inner obliques to right yourself. Explore it. Get to know your body. That's what's so cool about Pilates is when we focus on certain muscle groups and things that they can do and identify what their jobs are, we appreciate them more. And then again, when you're forward this next time, stay forward. And then that opposite hand outside that foot, reach back. Big inhale, exhale, and again. Good. And right back up to center. Good. While we're here, we're going to go into Mermaid, right? So swing the legs off to one side or the other. Again, it doesn't really matter. This hand is placed very close to your body. The other arm is extended out to the side. You're going to inhale to start to slide this hand away from you, and at some point you're going to drop the elbow to the mat. And at that point, the elbow is directly under the shoulder. It's hard to find that when you don't have a mirror. But you're going to continue your journey over with this arm, and then you're just going to, that's an exhale here. So you see this nice, beautiful, long stretch. And then on the inhale, I want you to reach up through this arm, and right here, I'm still lengthening. Inhale, and I'm going to exhale and twist. Inhale, exhale when that elbow reaches the mat. Inhale and exhale. One more here. And when you're in this next rotation, just take a couple breaths again. And come back to center and switching sides. Okay. So here we are again. Inhale, elbow down and exhale. And then reach, reach, and rotate. Again. Last one coming up. And briefly hold. And then coming out of that. Okay. Swing your legs back and around. And the exercise is shoulder bridge. And so we'll do some movements. We've got ourselves up in that shoulder bridge position that will again engage the obliques. So position your feet as wide as your hips, and that is specifically your hip bones, not here. Find those bony protrudences, and you're going to line up your knees, the front of your ankles, and your feet with that. Arms nice and long by your sides. And then you were in this position for pelvic tilts earlier. You're going to utilize the pelvic tilt to do this work. So you're going to pick that tailbone up off the mat. This was your pelvic tilt, right? But continue the journey, articulating your spine up off the mat one vertebra at a time so your hips are raised and you have this nice long line. That's an inhale. On the exhale, continue this stretch and lengthen down through your spine and release all the way through the tailbone, sacrum. Pick it up again. Initiate, articulate, coming down. Keep your feet anchored evenly on the mat. Make sure you're not rolling down, back through the heels or out through the outside edges. And when you're up this next time, you're going to stay up. Coming up. Okay, so again, finding the four corners of your feet. And what I want you to do here is I just want you to sway the hips to the side. Now, I'm going to my right, shortening or contracting the obliques here. Through the middle. And just shifting or raising that left hip. Try to bring it up into my left armpit and coming back. 2 more times each way. Kind of a funny feeling. And it's hard to keep the hips elevated doing this work, but try. Last one to the right and back and to the left and back and down and articulate all the way back down through the spine. Good. Take a moment, pull the knees in, open your low back a bit. We're going to do an exercise here called tree. So let's extend the left leg down long on the mat and bring that right leg up. So again, this is hard to do without this down foot under a strap because often we need the support. It asks a lot of the body. But see what you can do. Sometimes it's helpful to keep this leg bent, right? So the exercise is this. You're going to inhale to lift your head. We're just going to ease ourselves into it. Try to bring your nose to your knee. And then exhale right back down. 2 more like that. Coming up. This is a gentle, just a very light touch. We'll need it to be a little bit more than that here in a moment. And then coming up again, which is now, I'm going to straighten my leg. And I'm going to continue to climb up the leg as if I was climbing up a tree. Right? And then climbing right back down again. Coming up. Exhale to get where you're going. You got to push the air out of the body so it doesn't impede your movement. When you come up this next time, stay up. Now, if this is only where you get, fine, I don't really care, right? You work within your abilities. Coming on up though, for those of you who can get here, 3 times, it's going to be a nice stretch. So just inhale, pull that leg close, exhale to release. 2, hold it close this time, and all the way back and down. Good, go ahead and bend that leg, extend. We'll do the whole thing on the other side. First, the prep, right? Light grip. Up, back down, up. You can inhale or exhale up here. Doesn't really matter. But then this is the one we're going to start to climb. Coming up and walking the hands up that leg, back and down, up again, and down, and again. Staying up this next time. Good. Relax those shoulders. Inhale, pull, and release. 2. Keeping it close and climbing all the way. Back and down, bending the knee and extending out. Good. Take a moment here. Just let the legs fall open and just turn your arms up, wrists open, and just take a couple deep breaths here. Let your back be where it wants to be. Breathe in, expand the rib. Everything comes away from the spine. And then exhale those things back. I just one more time here. Good. Let's bring both knees in and roll right on up into sitting. Good. Turn around and coming up onto all fours here. All right. So plant the hands on the mat directly under your shoulders and your knees directly under the hips. You're going to pull the abdominals up and in. They stay engaged and your spine is relatively straight. And then head stays on spine too, so it's always really tempting to drop the head and look down, but try not. Try to find a spot out here to keep your gaze fixed. All right, and then here's the work. On the inhale, lift that right arm and left leg up and oppositionally away from one another. So there's not dropping, this isn't lifting, everything's lined up. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. And now you're going to bring the elbow and the knee together beneath you. Lengthen and contract the obliques. Last one coming up. Plant that hand and knee down. Other side, lift and lengthen. 1/2 of the letter X. Exhale. Lengthen. Try not to toss your head about. Very isolating movement. Last one coming up. And hand and foot back down again. We're going to go ahead into leg pull front. So curl the toes up on the mat and bring yourself up into a plank position. You're going to lift that right leg up, squeeze the glute and point that foot, drop through the left heel, lift the left heel, other foot down. Up, lower, lift, and down. Up. We'll do one more time on each leg here. Up, and up, and down. Good. So, knees back under the hips. Cat and cow is the exercise. Let's do 3 of them, and then we'll do an exercise called wag the tail. So you're just going to look up, drop, raise your sits bones, stick your bottom out a little bit, and then round the spine. Press the tops of your feet into the mat here. Breathe in, and scoop the abdominals. Last one coming up. And back into that neutral place. So wag the tail, you're like a dog, right? I'm going to start on my left side here. I'm going to turn my gaze towards my hip, and I'm going to try to bring my hip towards my shoulder, right? And then come back to center and do it the other way. Shift. This is very similar to what you did a moment ago in shoulder bridge. So really contracting and back, contracting and back. One more time each way here. Last one. Good. And let's turn around and sit facing this direction. So for leg pull, all right? So hands are positioned forward like this, out to the side or back, whatever works for you. Legs stretched out nice and long. If it is enough for you to just come up into this position and hold it, then that's what you'll do. It's basically a reverse plank. But if you're up and you're feeling strong enough and you can do this, right? Nice reverse plank. Inhale, lift that right leg up, lower down. Other leg. We'll just do 3 on each side. And then you're going to pull your abdominals in to set your hips down. Reach forward and stretch the back out. It's coming up in a sitting. Let's bend that right knee and bring the foot outside the left. Flex this other one. Now I'm going to turn to my right, hand planted close. This other knee is here. I'm going to take my gaze as far to that direction as possible. Sit up tall through the spine. Inhale here and exhale. Really twist. Visualize what's happening here through the body, through the spine. Again. Last one. And switching. Hand is close. Right. And last one. And back to center. Good. All right. So back to a very powerful exercise for the obliques, indeed the body as a whole, is side plank. You have a choice in side plank to do this propped up on your hand or down on your elbow. Please do what is safest and most natural for you. And then you either have a choice to stack the feet or stagger them. I'm going to stagger them today. So I'm going to come up, extend this arm. You can also bring this hand just behind your head if you feel better about doing that. But notice that this hand is directly under this shoulder. Form matters. It's one of the basic principles in Pilates. So extending this arm away, and then if you reached around and you laid your hand on this side of the body, you're going to feel everything on this side of the body working deeply. Engage. Engaging to keep you in this position. Take big breaths. Exhale. We'll take 5 breaths here. Maybe you'll feel the inside of that up leg. Last one. And then it's a rotation. Inhale to twist, pull, scoop these obliques. Thread the needle, we call it. Back to center. And let's come all the way down on the mat. I'm going to have you bend the knees again. We're going to jump into an exercise called twist. So you'll see that I'm sitting very similar to the way we did for Mermaid, but I'm going to take this leg and bend it, tucking this heel into the front of my other ankle. So in this case, my left knee is bent, but for purposes of teaching you, it would be your right. This hand is closed once again, and this arm is out to the side. So I want you to imagine that as you start to come up into a standing position, I'm going to demonstrate, you're wearing a tight, short skirt. You want to keep those legs together. So this arm is going to initiate the movement. It's another thread the needle movement. You're going to come up, pushing into my down hand. I'm going to thread the needle and try to get my legs to straight and look around my other arm. Coming back down, try not to touch. Do it again. Coming up on the inhale, scooping everything, scooping, scooping. Back and down. And last one here. Up. And back and down. Twist. Extending the legs out long for the Sidekick series. So head comes down. You're at the back of your mat, and your feet are forward. Your hips are stacked. So lengthening through the hip. I talk about it a lot if you've ever been in any of my classes, but it's an important thing. I am stacked in my shoulders, I am stacked in my hips, and I'm stacked with my legs. So I'm going to lift this top leg up, and I'm going to swing this leg forward and back, but the whole time I'm doing it, I'm not just going to rock and shorten through my hip and allow my upper body to lose control. I'm going to drop through this hip, pull the abdominals in, and imagine that I could grow this leg longer than this leg as I side kick forward and side kick back. Inhale and exhale. I have to anchor down my down leg. 2 more like this. Last one. And then reach around. Let's take a quick stretch through the front. And then bring that leg up in the air. And if this is available to you, do this. Certainly grab here, whatever it is you can do. Inhale here, exhale, pull gently for 3 breaths. And then that leg is now turned out by virtue of the fact that you brought it up like so. So lower it with the turn out, right? And we're still going to try to go for the lengthening through the hip here. So I always park my hand on the hip. Kicking up, flexing down, up and down. Sometimes people will say, oh, I need to make this bigger, right? And that's cool if you can do that, and that's beneficial. But for our purposes today, find the range that works and helps you keep your form and precision. Last 2. It's way more isolating there. And then it's développé. Turn out, knee up, up and down. 2 more here. And reversing. Good. Bring your head down on your arm and your palms come together over your head. And pick up your legs and move them back a little bit. You're going to take the left knee, maybe your right knee, and bend it, knee and hip aligned here. Pull that bottom leg back. And then you're just going to pump that leg up 10 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 10 circles. And reversing. And then side bending. So again, come back to a place where you are stacked in the hips and the legs and the shoulders. This hand is on the mat in front of you. And then on the inhale, just pick everything, upper and lower body up off the mat, and exhale right back down. Obliques. Inhale. Last two. And one. Good. And let's go ahead and bring both knees to the front of the mat. Again, lined up with the hips, and pick the feet way up. Again, hand on the hip here for clamshell. Inhale to slowly open. Exhale to slowly close. Engage the muscles of the hip and glute. Adductors, inner thighs. Breathe in. Slowly resist the closure. And let's just do 4 more here for 8. Try to open as wide as you can. Squeeze the glutes. And then rest the feet, lower them to the mat. Bring this front arm or lower arm or down arm forward and palms together here. Place your head down, and then you're just gonna open this arm out to the side, reach forward with this one, turn your head away, hold, let that out back arm rest on the mat or the floor, and twist. And now you might be feeling this nice stretch through the side that you're opening into. One more deep breath here. And back and around. Good. And let's swing and do the whole thing on the other side. Okay. So again, we begin with side plank. So the hand is directly under the shoulder here. You're going to come on up into your position, or again, you're down on your elbow. And again, the feet are either stacked or staggered. And this arm is up. Good. And really engaging. And we'll have one more deep breath coming up here. And it's an inhale to rotate. And then come back and out of it. And bring yourself down. And set yourself up for that twist exercise again. All right, so you'll just see I just bent both knees, but one is up, one is down. This hand remains closed, this arm is out. I'm gonna push into this hand and scoop in to my abdominals to come up into standing. Inhale, and I'm gonna bring this arm around. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Coming back down, I don't sit all the way back down. Exhale up, scooping, scooping. And back and down. And last one here. And back and down. Boy, that's a stretch in a lot of new places. And come into position for side kicks here. All right. So, hips back. Hand on the hip again if you need that reminder to stay lengthened through this side of the body. And then inhale to swing forward. Exhale, back. 3 more. And then when you're back, again, just bending, reaching back to grab that foot. I'm rolling all over the place here today. Not sure what that is. I think it's just a misalignment in my own body. Being kind of closed in for days on end. But again, I hope this work helps you come into a better mental frame of mind and body. Physical and mental. Bring this leg up. Take the stretch here. And then lowering it back down, keeping the turn out, right? Kicking up and flexing down. Again, going for some length through here. So encourage it, by sort of finding that upper curve of the pelvis, hips. Last 2. And 1. And develop A. Bend the knee, up and down. 1 more in this direction. And reversing up and down. Last one here. Good. All right, and let's turn the leg back into parallel. From here, you're gonna lay your head down on your arm. Good. Pick up your legs and move them back a little bit for side bends. Inhale everything up and exhale down. Last 2 coming out for a total of 8. Really contracting. And then let's bring both palms together and let's bend that top knee. Align with the hip, pick up this down leg and bring it back. And pulse up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Leave it up. And 10 circles each way. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Reversing. 1, 2. Good. And then both knees come forward, feet way up, hand on the hip again, and it's your clamshell exercise. So opening and squeeze an imaginary ball there to provide that resistance, that engagement. And let's rest the feet. And then bring that bottom arm forward just a bit. Palm here. Open out to the side. Turn your head away. And if you need to reach further forward to stretch through the chest, by all means do so. One more deep breath here. And then from here, let's roll onto the back. Corkscrew is the exercise, all right? So you're going to bring the legs up. And for those of you starting to maybe feel things in the back, or if your back is tender anyway, but you're still able to do this exercise, sometimes the modification is to bring the hands into sort of this diamond pattern and rest them underneath your low back or your sacrum particularly, right? And the legs come back up. And then here's the work. We're going to twist. I'm going to twist towards you, which is my left. And so now to do that, I'm shortening through my hip, the away hip I call it, or side. And then I'm going to lower down, level out, and come back up. Reverse. Inhale. Lengthen, right? Exhale, contract. Get those obliques involved. Make it small again. Keep scooping the abdominals. This next one is your last one. Inhale and exhale. Good. Let's one more time. Pull the knees in. Let's place a hand on each knee. Circle the legs around in the hip sockets a few times each way. And reversing. Good. And then let's come on up into a version of standing saw. So again, sort of out of sequence a bit, but that's okay. I'm going to actually do this from the side. So again, the feet are going to come wider than the mat, but this is an oblique exercise. I want you to focus. We've done enough focusing on the obliques. You know you're going to use them if you have any familiarity with this exercise at all. But I want you to focus on the spine and what it is you're feeling and doing with the spine and those muscles that align it and those muscles that support it from the other side of your body, okay? So the arms come out to the sides, right? I'm going to keep my hips, I always pretend I have headlights on my hips and I keep them pointing forward here. Arms come out. I'm going to twist to the right, so that's towards you. See, my arms are still level, and I'm going to just basically tilt over and twist my arms and squeeze or press or exhale all the air out. Inhale, scoop. Pull my abdominals in to come up to center. Twist the other way, and exhale, tilt. And reach that up arm to the ceiling. Coming up. Twist. Bend. Think about the spine. Starts at the sacrum. Comes out through the top of your head for all intents and purposes. Right? So lengthen it. Twist it. Take it in that direction. And one more time each way here. Up. Twist. And back up to center. And arms come down. Good. Just a couple more exercises we have left. You're almost to the end of it. Hope you're feeling pretty good. So, swan is next. So, body nice and long on the mat. Hands near the shoulders, forehead is down. Bring your legs apart if your back is talking to you at this point. And then on the inhale, you're just going to lift your gaze, pretend you're pushing a marble away, and it's with your nose, and it's rolling away from you. You're going to follow it on the up. And exhale, lengthen to come right back down. 2 more. Last one. And then when you're up this next time, I want you to push into the arms and lift your hips and round back into a child pose. And stay here when you're here. Take deep breaths. And then let's walk the hands over to one side of your mat. Come back and frame a bit more. And then I like to sort of shift into my lengthened side through that hip. And then walk the hands through the middle, other direction. And back to center here. Good. And then come back up. Roll back down into your position for swan. And now you're going to, if you can, push yourself up into a plank in preparation for push-ups. Curling the toes up off the mat. Push straight up into your plank position or get there via your knees. Do what works for you, right? And we'll do 12 push-ups here. So nice straight body, head on spine. Inhale to bend the arms, exhale to straighten. Last 2, and 1. And then hike the hips and do your best to walk your feet in towards your hands, like an elephant. And then come on up, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. Exhale to stack the spine up. Then take one more big deep breath here. Bring those palms together in front of you. Lengthen through the spine, even as you press the hands together and lower them. Grow tall through your spine. Exhale completely. Very nice work, I'm sure. Thank you again for joining us. Have a wonderful day. Stay healthy, and we'll see you the next time.